A 48-year-old mom stole her daughter's identity to start college, date young guys, get basically free money, student loans, to kind of live out her fantasies. So, Missouri mom is facing jail time after she admitted to stealing her estranged daughter's identity in order to secure student loans, enroll in college, and pursue her sexy co ed fantasies. Laura Oaksby, 48, possessed her daughter, Lauren Hayes, for more than 2 years in an elaborate scam that fooled both the federal government and locals in the small town of Mountain View. In 2016, Oaksby applied for a Social Security card in Hayes' name, which she promptly received in the mail. From that point on, Oaksby, who originally hailed from Arkansas and was then age 43, assumed her daughter's identity, saying her name was Lauren Hayes and that she was only 22 years old. The fraudster even started seducing unsuspecting men in their early 20s who had no idea that Oaksby was almost 2 decades older than she said she was. Everyone believed it. She even had boyfriends that believed that she was that age, 22 years old. Chief Jamie Perkins of Mountain View Police Department told the New York Times. Disturbing photos obtained by Missouri news station KY3 appear to show Oaksby even had her own Snapchat account where she pretended to be Hayes and posed with an array of youthful filters over her face. She had completely adopted a younger lifestyle, clothing, makeup, and personality. She had completely assumed becoming a younger person in her early 20s, Detective Stetson Schwein told the local ABC outlet. Oaksby moved in with local couple Avery and Wendy Parker, a pair of apparently kind strangers in Mountain View who believed she was a young woman running away from a domestic violence situation. Like how crazy do you gotta be, right? For one, to steal your daughter's identity. Two, to pretend that you were a victim of domestic violence. Like that is crazy stuff. The, the manipulative mom told them her name was Lauren Hayes, and she went on to live with the Parkers for close to 2 years. During that time, Oakley applied for Missouri's driver's license in her daughter's name before enrolling in Southwest Baptist University. She applied for financial aid and received $9,400 in federal student loans, $5,920 in Pell Grants, and $1,863 in finance charges. Oaksby even worked at the local Mountain View Library where locals knew her as Lauren Hayes. However, after more than 2 years, the elaborate scam came crashing down in August 2018. Police in Mountain View were contacted by authorities in Arkansas who believed Oakley had committed financial fraud by using the name of her daughter. Recognizing the name, investigators approached Oaksby, who initially denied stealing her daughter's identity. However, it's reported that she subsequently broke down and admitted to the fraud. Oaksby is facing 5 years behind bars without parole after pleading guilty to one count of intentionally providing false information to the Social Security Administration. Under the terms of her plea agreement, Oaksby must also pay $17,521 in restitution to Southwest Baptist University in Missouri and to her daughter. The rural Lauren Hayes has not yet spoken out about her mom's scam or how the relationship deteriorated. And here's the thing, like this is the crazy thing as well, right? Like this 48-year-old mom, right? Technically could have kept up this scam of her being like a young college student on forever, right? Like if she didn't scam the college, right? If she didn't apply for federal student loans and like student loans in general or grants, right? Or work at a job under her daughter's name and all this, like if she didn't do any of the financial fraud and basically just paid this out of pocket, she could have literally pretended to be her daughter for years, right? She could have been sleeping with younger men for years, pretending to be her actual daughter. Which, there's so many weird things along this, right? But this is also a good reason as to why you might want to get something like umbrella insurance, because umbrella insurance will typically, should at least, be able to protect yourself if something like this were to happen. Or, there's also like identity theft insurance as well. Or typically there's like some types of like insurance programs or products that are out there that are basically just general insurance for yourself, right? If anything were to happen, and it should be able to cover identity theft like this, right? So that if anyone, even if your own mother steals your identity, you could just, be protected. You don't actually have to do anything. You don't even gotta lift a finger when your identity gets stolen. And this is especially important for people who start to get a decent net worth. Now, it's important for anyone that has any money to their name, right? Because, obviously you don't want people to just take your money or take whatever you have. But the more money you have, the more likelihood that there's going to be someone trying to come after you for an easy payday. So having something like identity theft or cybersecurity insurance or just type of insurance that will just protect you as a whole, which is why I said umbrella insurance, just so that you could have like another extra wall around you, protecting yourself, protecting your assets, protecting your family. It's just a smart idea, right? And here's the thing, right? If you were to ever wanting to go back to school, right? Or if you were wanting to go to college, don't get student loans, right? Sure, feel free to apply for like the Pell Grants because grants are literal free money for you. But do not get student loans, get grants, or pay out of pocket, right? Or pay out of pocket. Because here's the thing. No matter who you are, no matter how much money you make, getting student loans is one of the worst financial decisions you could ever make, right? Because there's no guarantee that you'll even finish your degree. There's no guarantee that you'll even get a job with the degree that you're studying for, right? There are so many things that can go wrong, right? You have probably also other bills to pay for. So cash flow it. Work hard, have less hours so that you could cash flow this process so that you could get your degree for free, so it'd be a little bit easier on you to find a job that's actually within the field that you actually studied. Because if you ended up studying something like history but there's literally no jobs hiring for that, well, you're kind of screwed, right? So you basically went into student loan debt for nothing, right? So that's something to really think about. By the way, if you want to learn how to get out of debt, go to 40inbox.com.